It's very important that I know how we're doing so that I know where to start from, how to start the conversation. If we need some energy, if we need some boosters. So good to see you. Yes, Atena, it's so good to see you. Good to know that you're doing great, Ayodele. Yes, I am doing great as well. Thank you for asking. I appreciate it. You ask. I'm doing. So how many of you have really been learning from these Wednesday meetings? Sometimes it's good for us to have feedback so that we know that we're not wasting our time, definitely, but we also want to know that we're on track and that everything that is being shared is what is relevant to you. Like you really need it. We're not just assuming off the top of our minds that we're doing the right things. So it would be good to hear some of your feedback. You can just put that in the chat box to say, you guys are doing great. All the topics have been relevant. If we have any first timers in our midst as well, we'd like to welcome you. We'd like to recognize you. Shay, if you cannot hear me, please kindly exit and join again. It might be your audio, but I believe everyone else can hear me because I haven't gotten that comment. So welcome once again. When we started, one of the first things we spoke about was, are you hitting your money goals? Because I have my book and I hope that you have your book, right? Are you hitting your money goals or you're just hoping for the best? I know in this class, OC extensively spoke about financial goals. And he mentioned the fact that our financial goals should not be more important than our personal goals, right? Your goals are only as good as who you are, right? You are the most important critical success factor. I just thought that I should give us a recap or a reminder of some of the things that we have done. And for those who are just joining us for the very first time, please make sure you catch the replay. Please, one of the groundkeeping rules that is very important is ensure you mute your mic immediately you join the class to avoid any disruption. Please ensure that you mute your mic. Mr. Sheyi Olojede, kindly mute your mic. Thank you very much. Um, for the next one, we spoke about non-negotiables. What are your non-negotiables when it comes to money? And in responding to that, OC made sure that he addressed six compartments and how we needed to plan for this. Very important. I mean, I wish I could go on and on, but that's why the replay is on. It's on the channel, it's on the YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed to it, you are wrong. So please make sure that you subscribe. The links will be shared as well. Our next class that we had, so this is me looking through my book as a good student that I am. So please look through your notes as well. What's the biggest lesson your finances have taught you this month? We mentioned that whatever is not evaluated, whatever is not tracked, cannot be improved on. If you want to improve on anything, it means that you need to measure it. You need to check your income. You need to check, are there leakages? What are the key expenses? Because you cannot afford to live your life to chance. I hope this recap is doing somebody good. And if you have forgotten, it's important for you to know that budgeting is not just a spending tool, it's also a money making tool, right? And the fact that record keeping is very important. And we cannot keep on overemphasizing why this is important. And for those who are privileged or able to join the Financial Freedom Challenge, I'm sure that you have not recovered. You haven't recovered. You're still, picking one or two things and saying, oh, I need to implement this. This is what I need to do next. This is how I need to go. Very important. Ensure that you visit your notes. I wish I could go into all of that, but I'm not going to go into all of that. But just to encourage everyone on this call to ensure that you join the next Financial Freedom Challenge, which has been moved because of you. Because some people are like, oh, see, please move it by 1 week. I'm expecting one fund to come in and I do not want to miss it. And in the graciousness of OC's heart, he has extended this. Please, this is a good place for you to clap for OC. And I also want everyone on this call who did not join the last Financial Freedom Challenge to find a way, every possible legal way to join the next class, right? So we spoke about, it was a 5-day event, but we also had a bonus day. I'm sure OC can be nice to you and, give you another bonus day, right? So it depends on how hungry you are for it. That's what will determine how much you get. We spoke about income generation. We spoke about asset accumulation in no particular order. We spoke about trust. We spoke about wills. We spoke about financial stages. Oh, yes, Utibe, I remember you were in class. Fantastic time that we had so far. We spoke about the power of habits. Um, we also spoke about, sorry, just going through my notes. The cure to financial pressure. For day three, we spoke about the fact that the highest income you have ever made is a reflection of the highest level of skill that you have. And we went into how you could have sufficient, predictable, and consistent income. I'm not going to tell you that. We spoke about income's investment sequence. When people are saying, I don't have a lot of money, how do I start? Where do I start from? Oh, I just have this amount. Where do I start from? We spoke about that. I'm not going to tell you that until you join the class. It's also a good thing to know where we are joining from. If you're joining us from any part of the world, please put that in the chat box. We would like to know, would like to recognize your presence because we know that some people, instead of you to be sleeping, decided to be here. And it's no small feat. So please, we want to welcome you. We spoke about the levels of value as well, because this is also tied to the kind of income. We also spoke about product ecosystem, different types of income, asset optimization and retention strategies, wealth cycle. I can tell you that this curriculum is packed. And the good thing is, no two financial freedom challenge is the same. If you think, oh, I joined the last one and I got the best, you know that the part of the just it shines brighter and brighter. So make sure if you can, please join the next as well. So I think this has been a good recap, and it's a good time for us to proceed to the discourse of the day. How many of you are excited when you saw the flyer? You were excited about what we want to talk about. So, we're going to be talking about achieving financial freedom. Now, the reason why most of us are doing the things that we're doing or embarking on certain career paths, certain investment decision is because we want to attain financial freedom. And if you've been in this class, and this is also your first time as well, welcome. If you've been in this class, you know that there are levels or there are stages for financial freedom, right? It's a journey, it's a step that you have to take. And I do not want to let the cat out of the bag. For those who already know it, you can put it in the chat box. For those who are just joining us for the first time, don't worry, we're going to get there, right? So please let's welcome OC because OC is here. He has been, listening, and I do not want to keep him waiting. Please let's also spotlight OC. Please celebrate and appreciate OC. He's taking out of his time to look out for us. It's so good to see you, sir.
Good
I've
to
missed
see
your
you.
face.
Can you imagine?
Yes, you look so relaxed and so
Can you
refreshed.
imagine?
Can you tell
That's
us what you've been up to?
all right. Taking time to rest in between too much of work, but it's fine.
Yeah.
Work makes you look younger if you know how to balance.
Ah, fantastic. I like that hack. We need to get that hack. Work makes you look younger if you know how to balance it. In a world where people are looking for work-life balance, I'm sure you've seen that there's another angle to it. Anyways, that's another topic for another day. Today, we're going to be speaking about achieving financial freedom. How do you even achieve financial freedom? And one of the ways that gets it's not just one way. There are multiple keys, right? So we're going to be unveiling the keys to you. One of or some of the ways you can achieve financial freedom is by responding to certain questions. So there are certain questions we'll be running through this evening, and OC is going to be responding to them. We would also like to know what your response would be, but just be honest with yourself in your notepad as we ask the question. You're giving yourself the honest answer. Nobody wants to tell me where they are joining from. They're joining from Lagos, they're joining from Abuja, from the United States. At least I know I'm joining from Bagada, Lagos. I know OC is joining from the diaspora. Please let us know where you're joining from. Okay, so we're going straight into it. Is your financial future on track? How many of you can say, indeed, my financial future is on track? Like your financial stage. Your financial stage is okay, just to let the cat out of the bag. I'm sure we know that there are 5 financial stages. We have it's either you're in financial crisis or financial instability, financial stability, financial independence, working towards the ultimate goal, which is financial freedom, right? And to know where you belong, you'd have taken the financial intelligence test. OC and his team have been gracious enough to share us a link that helps you to assess and diagnose this. So you've taken this test, and we said one thing: you don't just take a test and just say, oh, they've given me my prescription, I think I'm fine. No, you need to go back to check. So now this is like a review for you if you haven't checked in a while, right? So we want to know if your financial future is on track. I'll be starting with these questions, and OC would be speaking to you, because sometimes when we hear the question, we think we know it, but it's far from it. Hearing and interpretation, very different things. So we want to learn from the guru himself. And so I'm going to be asking OC the number one question about when we ask, or when I ask you, do you know your present financial condition or net worth? What exactly should I be thinking about? How should it be? What should be the interpretation in my head or in my mind?
All right, so thank you very much, Stella. To measure your financial worth, you evaluate how much you own versus how much you owe. How much you own versus how much you owe. Your assets is what you own, your liabilities is what you own. Okay? So to estimate or evaluate your true financial worth, you need to have a sense of how much you own in form of assets, and then how much you own in terms of liabilities. Asset essentially, so just to think, not to think that everybody understand what an asset really is, because sometimes you could acquire a liability and call it an asset as well.
Mhm.
So an asset is anything that appreciates in value and then puts money in your pocket or your bank account.
Mm,
That is
mm.
just layman term, all right? But
Yes,
that
sir.
it can't be truer than what I just described. Okay. Um, sometimes when you interact with people in the financial world, the only way they can make you feel they are really experts is to give you throughout jargons, right? They use acronyms that only people in that space are familiar with, right? And the idea behind that is to make you feel that you need these people, right? But what I've come to realize that the more professional you are, the simpler you ought to get. All right. The value of wisdom is in how you can simplify complex subjects for people to be able to relate with and digest, and more importantly, implement. So you get the point. So if you want to evaluate, you want to know your true financial worth, make a list of all that you own, make a list of all that you owe, and then subtract it. If it's positive, you're on the right track. If it's negative, you need blood transfusion, and your case is a matter of somebody who needs to be in. But again, that's not the only thing we need to evaluate. There are still several other things that we clearly need to evaluate. But before I will allow Stella to ask me further questions, she was talking about um, the pyramid of wealth and the journey to financial freedom. And I think it would be nice to begin from there, because most times when we do what we do, people don't understand the reason, and don't sometimes those who don't know also don't appreciate why we do what we do. If you don't know exactly where you are, it's almost impossible for you to be able to uh, plot your graph toward financial freedom. And the only a quack doctor, right, will administer prescriptions or deploy prognosis without diagnosis, right? Every smart, every expert, one of the things you would identify with every expert is, if you are discussing any issue with them, they want to first know exactly where you are, all right, so that they can take you on the journey to where you ought to be or where you would love to be. Okay. And that's why today's edition is quite very strategic, and is diagnostic in nature. All right. Um, Sometimes we quickly skip this because we want to get people into prescription. We want them to quickly get it. But if I don't know where you are, if you don't also know where you are, how would you even be able to identify the things that can facilitate you arriving, at the desired destination? I've often shared that everybody has a current reality, and everybody sometimes don't also have a desired reality, but they don't know how to get there. So what I intend to do with this is to help us define our current reality in clear terms so that you know your true state. Listen, this thing is not just something that you do once in a while, something you must do regularly. If you can enable your video, you will do well. By the way, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending on where you're joining from. Apologies. I just assumed that Stella has done as, has greeted everybody, but I mean, it's just important. I see you, Mr. Yinka. I see Dr. William. I see Mercy Oladiji. I see some of you. So forgive me that I skipped that part of not greeting you. It's unlike me, okay? All right, so we want to diagnose, and in the pyramid of wealth, let me show you my screen. Let me see if I can show you my screen. Permit me to show you my screen. Okay, so you're welcome to Financial Freedom Webinar. This is Achieve Financial Freedom Webinar. So this is the pyramid. You can take a shot of this, okay? At the base, you'll see it's financial crisis. Most people there are more people in this place, in this level 5, than you'll find above them. And the reasons are all very obvious. People in financial crisis, majority of people in that category hardly make money. And like I often say, because everybody's a gifted spender, everybody's a talented spender. You don't need training, you don't need coaching, you don't need mentoring to spend. As long as you are alive, you are a qualified, talented, gifted, skill spender. And as long as you don't make money but spend money, there's no other place you would find yourself other than financial crisis. All right. Unfortunately, there are people who are in this category. And like I often say, if you are not making money, there are three possibilities. One, you start begging for money, right? You start begging for money. And please follow me carefully. If you can hear me loud and clear, just type 10 in the chat box just to be sure that I have your attention. Okay. So when you run out of people to beg from, what eventually happens is that you start borrowing money. Quite a lot of friends I know, people I know in diaspora in particular, especially when you are legally residing or working in those countries, you have access to credit. And a lot of times people don't even realize that access to credit doesn't mean you won't pay back. And that it comes with, there's APY, there's interest. And then before you say Jack Robbins, you've ruined your credit, you've ruined your credit score, you've ruined your possibility of even making or getting access to more resources. And a lot of people have eventually used those type of funds to fund consumption, and it practically damages what should have been a leverage has ended up becoming a bondage. So when you run out of people to beg from, you start borrowing. When you run out of people to borrow from, then we get to the third reality or possibility, which is you start cutting corners, you start lying, you start defrauding people, you just start deceiving people. And you see, because of the kind of pressure that people come under, this is what leads people into saying they don't have any alternative as of that moment. So what's the cure to that? You need to learn a skill. You need to bring something to the market. You need to have something that is value. You need to be solving problems for people. You need to bring something, you need to sell something people can't do without, the market can't do without, right? It could be a skill, it could be time. You could exchange your time for money. It could be, it could be a lot of things. Time won't permit me to get into that. But that is the picture. But there's a small population of people who can also be in financial crisis. This category of people are people who have successfully even built some financial resources and succeeded even in building portfolio of fixed assets. But these assets are either low on cash flow or have no cash flow at all right? So when you could be worth $1 billion, it could be worth $1 million, for example, in asset. If that asset is not optimized properly and generating for you consistent cash flow, you'll be low on cash flow, or you may have no cash flow. So even though you are worth $1 million in assets, because you are not able to quickly convert that into cash, $10,000, $5,000 can put you to shame. So, so even though you have $1 million worth of assets, $5,000, you may not be able to meet that obligation. And that is financial crisis too. All right. So that's the picture of those who are in financial crisis. The question is what describes you here? Are you the type of person who have a portfolio of assets that is worth $1 million, but it's not optimized properly and it's not generating sufficient cash flow? Or are you the one that's not making money at all? They told you that once you arrive Canada, you start making money. Now you are in Canada. They Canada you. Now you are under pressure. Now, by the way, I am not in any way making light of this, because a lot of people are the promise of a greener pasture. But the reality of what they met on ground is completely different from what they were told. Sometimes they tell you you need to pay this, pay that, pay this, and then you ended up paying, thinking that once you now have this document, that is password to earning income. Uncle, auntie, that's not always the case. You can have green card, you can have blue passport, but if you have no value to bring to the market, you'll still be broke. So it has nothing to do with your legal status alone. Your legal status will give you edge, will give you advantage, but the ability to make money. And that's one of the things that puts people in a state where they feel disillusioned, they feel hopeless. You see, I've said it time and again. The truest proof that you are wealthy is not how much money you have stacked up. It is the ability, a recognition that you can produce it whenever you need to produce it. That one is the real wealth. You see, if you have been able to accumulate any measure of wealth whatsoever, any measure of assets, and all of that, and for one stroke of fate, you lose it all, you realize that if you still lack the ability to reproduce it, you still feel disillusioned. Don't get it twisted. Even if you can reproduce it, when you lose all that you have labored all your years, all your life for, right, it can affect you. There's no denial about that. But you are in a better place when you know exact steps you took to produce it in the first place. That's really more empowering than anything else. I don't know if you understand what I mean. All right. Now, if you get that, the second level from bottom up, number 4 on the slide, is financial instability. You see, this category of people in this place are those who stay home, don't take them home. All right? Their take home doesn't take them home. They earn $4,000 a month, 300,000 naira a month, but their obligations, their gbese, their burden is 1.8, is $10,000, 1.8 million or $10,000. So even though you are making money, the rate at which money is leaving you is faster and more than the rate at which money is flowing to you. There's no way you'll be stable. And that is also a major place where majority of people have found themselves. And listen, pay attention to this. Pay attention to this. Everybody has, I've seen it again, and I've seen it play out again and again. Literally all of us on this platform, right, have our expenses on autopilot. Literally all of us here have multiple streams of expenses, but very few of us on this platform have multiple streams of income. There's no way the rate at which money is leaving you is faster and then you'll be free. If the rate at which money is leaving you is faster and more than the rate at which money is flowing to you, there's no way you'll be financially stable. So you see, there's no way, almost in every room, in every class, I will see more people between level 4 and level 5. If that describes you, you need what we are talking about too. Level 3 is financial stability. Financial stability is that point where you maintain a degree of financial equilibrium. What does that mean? It means that you're fairly comfortable, right? Your income can match your obligations. And no matter how pressing, how much pressure, comes from time to time, what is coming in can undo, you can cushion the pressure, right? Now, you see that the higher you go, the fewer the number of people, the fewer the space. Now, it tells you that there are fewer people. And in different parts of the world, the population in this category is fast shrinking. The middle class population is shrinking so rapidly, right? In developed nations, it appears to be fairly more robust than you find in more underdeveloped or developing countries, right? But the key point is being financially stable is not the ultimate. And I'll tell you one of the major characteristics of people who are in financial stability. Their major distinguishing factor is that their lifestyle, current lifestyle, is premised on their ability, follow me carefully, to continue to work. So their lifestyle is premised on their active income. So as long as they retain their job, they will still be able to live the life they live. Their children will still be able to go to the schools they go. They will still be able to live the measure of comfort. They will still be able to go on vacation from time to time as they used to. But should anything tamper with their current source of active income, they are back to financial instability or financial crisis. And I've seen this play out again and again. Now, if you are anywhere from financial stability downward, you clearly need to attend and enroll for Financial Freedom, Achieve Financial Freedom Challenge. There's something that is coming up that it's only those who register for the Achieve Financial Freedom Challenge will get to know, but I'll touch on that shortly. Now, the fourth level, which is number 2 on the screen, is financial independence. Financial independence is that point in a person's life where the proceed from their assets and investments is capable of meeting their personal and family needs without them having to work another day. Somebody following me? So until the proceed from your assets and investment can replace your active income as a financial stable, as someone who is financially stable, right? You are never going to be financially independent. All right. So it's important. So if your annual expenses is say $60,000, right, and you now have an investment or assets that produces you commensurate level of passive income, right, with your assets still intact, then it's at that point you can be regarded as financially independent. This is so important. The peak, which is where I recommend, I always believe that everybody should be, is financial freedom. Financial freedom is that point in one's life where the proceed from your asset and investment is not only capable of meeting your personal and family needs, but it's also able to extend goodness and kindness to others. In other words, from the comfort you have enjoyed or from the comfort you enjoy, you are now able to extend the same level of comfort. So there are widows who are on payroll. There are students in school who are on scholarship on your accounts. There's nothing else that can give you a high degree of personal peace and fulfillment like when you are at financial freedom peak. And guess what? It's all a function of your plan. It's not about how many children you send to school. It's about that somebody is going to school on your account. It's about there's somebody somewhere who has found meaning for their own life, who has found support because you exist, because you live, right? And that's pretty much what this is. The question is, where exactly are you? Which of these levels describe you? I want you to type it in the chat box if you are not ashamed, all right? I was having a conversation with a very dear big brother not too long ago, and then he said, see, I'm in financial crisis, all right? And I respect people when they are vulnerable. I cherish people who are authentic. You will quickly find help when you know where you are. There's too much packaging, too much, you see, the reason why people don't want to come out, because they are comparing themselves with people who are social media following. Listen, social media following is not equal to financial prosperity. You may have 6-pack and not necessarily have 6-figure. All right. So it's important. You may have 1 million followers, but not necessarily a millionaire. And I'm sure that you know that there are a lot of poor celebrities. And by the way, I mean, no disrespect to anyone. I just needed to put this out. Ask yourself, where exactly am I? Which of this analysis I just gave you right now describes you? Okay. So one of the things I'm going to do next, which is very important, I don't know what Stella has to say, so that I can give her the floor to say something before I move to the next thing. Because again, it would be nice for us to carry out some diagnosis. And I've got a couple of questions. Yes, we prepared it. There's a link that we can drop later on, and you can complete it. But I want to run through them just briefly and see how far we can go with that. Over to you, Stella.
Thank you very much, Ozzy, for that beautiful background. I think that that has laid the foundation for everyone on this call. At least you know where you are. And the good thing is, we're not just going to leave you where you are, we're going to guide you towards achieving where you ought to be or where you desire to be, because self assessment is very crucial. And you cannot assess yourself without having a set of questions, which OC would be, you know, going through as fast as possible, but then he would also be sharing the link to these same questions. So what I need each and every one of us to do here is to listen with rapt attention as OC speaks through each of these questions, so that when you're going through the diagnosis on your own, you have an understanding of what it is, and then you're able to respond honestly, because there is power in honest financial evaluation, and it starts with you taking this assessment. So without further ado, I think we've had a fantastic background already. We should go straight into the question, which was the first thing that I asked OC. We've taken the first question, so I think it's a good place to proceed with the second question. Over to you, OC.
All right, so thank you very much, Stella. So financial health assessment is really what this is about. Before you can start to admit, before any doctor, any medical doctor, real qualified doctors, right? Medical doctors, before they start to administer treatment, they want to really assess exactly where you are. Diagnosis before prognosis. Really, that's the way it works. And that's what this is about. Even if you are to attend any financial seminar, business seminar, it's always important to do an assessment, right? People who derive the most value from most of my programs are the ones who already completed this particular assessment. And it's important for us to really run you through it so that you have a sense of what it is. The link will be made available in the various groups so you can still complete it on your own. The beautiful thing is that everything has been automated. Once you complete and answer the question honestly, listen to me carefully, everybody. The greatest form of deception is self-deception. Anybody can deceive anybody, but please don't deceive yourself. Right? You can package for everybody, but don't package for yourself. Tell yourself the truth. Okay? All right, so we've already talked about, do you know your present financial condition or net worth? Of course, part of the things that you also need to evaluate here, apart from what you own and what you owe, is also your income and expenditure, right? Your income statement will show how much money is coming in, how much money is going out, and what is the direction of money in your life. Is it straight graph? As it comes, it goes out. Or does it come and you buy liability before it goes out? Or does it come, you acquire asset and then the income from the assets fund your liabilities before it goes out through expenses? These are part of the things that we often cover. But you want to answer, do you even know it? Because so many people, they don't even know, right? So whether they are making money or not, they don't even know this. So answer the question honestly, yes, no, I don't know. And please take note of your scores. Take note of your answer to these questions as we talk about this, all right? Or have a note. Yes, no, I don't know. Are you satisfied with your present financial condition? Clearly, from the analysis I just gave you earlier now, most people are they're not comfortable. They're not satisfied with their present financial condition, either because the money that leaves them is far more and faster than the money that is flowing to them, or they are not making money at all, or they don't have cash flow from assets because they don't have assets, right? So please answer the question, yes, no, I don't know. Number three, Are you aware of simple ways to increase your net worth? Are you aware of simple ways to increase your net worth? Yes, no, I don't know. These are the things that we typically share during the Financial Freedom Challenge as well. Do you have enough savings to see you through 6 months of normal living expenses if you lose your job? Oh my goodness. I'm sorry, but I'm not smiling or laughing to make fun of anybody. I've been here before, and let me be honest with you, you will never graduate from the need to do this assessment again and again if you really want to continue to improve. So no matter how much you have attained, no matter how, I mean, I just had a conversation with a friend not too long ago, and I said, well, this is my budget, and I don't want to exceed this. Depends, but you are this, and I just laughed. I said, what made me this that you are respecting is because I have a budget. I am prepared. I'm not ready to exceed. That's the reason. Okay. Um, so if you lose your current source of income, current source of active income, do you have up to 3 to 6 months of living expenses if you lose that source of income? Do you save money on a regular basis? Yes, no, I don't know. Please just answer the question, be honest. If you don't save regularly, answer no. If you don't know whether you save or not, I don't know how you will not know that you don't save, but just click which one applies to you. And if you do, please type yes, okay? Because if you don't, please take note of the questions and put your answer because we are going to evaluate it later on. Have you formed the habit of saving? Now, they may sound alike, but they are not exactly the same. Do you save regularly? All right. Do you save money? It's separate from have you formed the habit? All right. So, like we've taught time and again, you choose your habit choose your destiny, right? It is said that less than I really don't have that data right now, but many people who live in America and most diaspora nations, right, don't even have up to $1,000 in their bank account. $1,000, ordinary 1,000. In Nigeria, encore, less than 3%. I think CBN released that report a few years back that less than 3% or so have less than 500,000 naira in their bank account of the population of Nigeria. So people really don't have. And if you check some of the Asian tigers, from Singapore to China and the rest of these Chinese countries or Asian countries, they have formed this habit. It's part of their culture. It's embedded in their culture. Just like they have neatness as part of their culture, they've also built this. It's part of their culture. They formed the habit. So more than 69% of Singaporeans save. More than 69%. The literacy rate in Singapore is well over 80%. So if you have formed the habit of saving, yes, no, I don't know. I know some people will say, oh, but what if the money I'm making is not enough? Money has never been enough. It will never be. The more you earn, the more you have, the more you wish you had. All right? That's why money is called currency. It is called currency because it is designed to be current. It's never designed to be static. So it flows. And the way it works is that it flows from the hands of fools to the hands of the wise. That's why I often say, if you don't set agenda for the money you make, other people will set agenda for it. So yes, no, I don't know. Number 7, do you have a well-defined and documented financial goal? So you are not saving for the fun of it. You are saving for a goal. You are saving for a purpose. Okay? Right? Because sometimes the reason why people don't even follow through on all of this is because they don't even have a well-defined and documented financial goal. Just yesterday, a brother of mine shared a link and was, and saying that this is what I've been teaching for years. So that a lot of people, so this man, powerful guy, looked traditional, but he was spitting out the truth. And he said his first salary as a copper doctor was 300 naira in 1984, 1985. And by the time, I think maybe by 87 or so, he had married. His wife was now earning 500 naira. He said that was a lot of money then too. And he was earning 1,500. And because his vision was to own his own hospital, he said they started to live on smaller amount of money, right? And then he started saving money up to buy equipment. He said by the time they were going to set up the hospital, he only had to borrow 2,200 or 2,500 from New Nigerian Bank. I never even knew that bank. So that bank must have been defunct. But he said that was the only money he borrowed, and that's the last money he ever had to borrow. He said, but he saved for purpose. He saved. So there was an agenda back in that saving. So there was a motivation for the money he was saving. He said he kicked against saving money and keeping leaving it in the bank. He said, when you save money, you save it for a particular purpose. All right. So do you have a well-documented financial goal? Yes, no, I don't know. If you don't have these things, these are the things that is keeping and creating the tension. Listen, there's a level of financial peace. There's a level of peace you have when you know something is working for you. There's a level of peace that you have when you know, apart from the fact that you know you can produce it, you also know that something else is also working for you. Are you getting what I'm talking about here? Number 8, do you have the bank account? As ridiculous as this may sound, you'll be shocked that not many people still have bank accounts. And there's a limit to how much money you can hold in your purse. And then you also are exposed to some security risks. All right. I mean, I'm sure that most people in diaspora hardly have this type of problem. But I still know of someone that somebody told me about, and I'm not kidding. This guy is so scared of leaving his money even in the bank. That's how messed up his mind is. He prefers to keep it under the pillow. He gives it to his father, who he trusts the most. So the guy could keep $70,000 with his father. He prefers it that way than to keep it in the bank. And I later learned that when his father died, the guy became really confused. Anyways, do you have a bank account? As simple as that may appear, and there are a lot of apps today now that fast tracks you opening an account. You don't need to go through the rigor. Gone are those days when owning a bank account was prestigious, right? If you own a bank account with GT Bank, those GT Bank or Zenith, you needed to have like 250,000 naira to open an account. They've democratized opening an account now. Without it, if your phone number becomes your number, your account number. So all these fintech platforms have changed the name of the game, right? And they are giving the bigger banks, not new generation, not the old generation banks, but the new generation, but the new old generation banks, they run for their money, right? So you want to begin to think of that. Whether in naira, in multiple currencies, which is really what I recommend, especially if you earn income from any of those territories. Do you reconcile your bank statement every month? Okay. Do you reconcile your bank statement every month? Because of our time, I've just glossed through the questions. Yes, no, I don't know. Answer them. Yes, no, I don't know. The next one you want to look at. Oh, good to see you, sir. This is my mentor. Pastor Sam, good to see you, sir. Good. I'm so surprised. I'm so humbled to have you here. I didn't even realize you would make it. Thank you so much, sir, for honoring us to be here. Thank you, sir. So do you keep record of your income and expenditure? I say it all the time. Everybody can be, you don't need to be a chartered accountant to be accountable. All right. So when you have a bank account, one of the beautiful things, the best bookkeeper you can ever have is your bank. So ensure that all transactions is routed through your bank and make sure that you put the proper narration there. And then every month you have something you can reconcile. So if you are not the traditional type of person like myself who has a notebook, I used to have a notebook where I was keeping it following like my mentor. But when I realized the stress, I just resigned and said, see, let me not try to be like my mentor. Let me use my bank. Let my bank keep the books for me. So if you know me, you know that you can't get any money from me without in cash. You can't, right? You can't get any dime, whether in naira or in dollars or in pound sterling. It has to be through transfers. And I will narrate, I have the narration. Okay. So even as simple as haircut, that's how detailed it is for me. And by the time the month is over, I reconcile. Now, let me say something here. One of the things that this does for you is that you are able to see what is taking more of your money whether it's moving you forward or it's dragging you backward. Because a lot of us do not realize that we have acquired drags and weights. And that's what is impeding our speed in life. It's impeding our acceleration. All right. One of the lessons I personally have learned is that by the time you even do this evaluation from time to time, if you do it quarterly or you do it annually, apart from the monthly one, if you do it quarterly, you take this you take this diagnosis on a regular basis. You do maybe once or twice a year. You can fix during your wedding anniversary as a family. You can fix it during your birthday. If you are just unmarried and all of that. So you can do it twice a year. I actually recommend twice a year so that things don't get worse before you do the evaluation, right? One thing you will immediately identify is that you will identify the things that are bringing you more money so that you can concentrate more energy there. You will know what is bringing you your revenue. If you are a business, the same thing. 2 years ago, we realized that, a lot of our energy is going in this direction in our business. And that was what was taking the most money from us. And we saw that there was one that was producing income and we did not even give as much attention. And then we doubled down. And every single year after that, right, it has increased steadily. And when I mean steadily, I'm talking of 300% more, 400% more than what it was before. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Now, I'm being honest with you. As a person, if you are an employee and you have a side business you do, maybe you sell, you MC events like our dear Stella. Maybe you also is a public speaker, and then you honor invitations from place to place, and your salary is maybe half a million naira or $5,000. But what you made from all these your side businesses every year or every month is twice or more than the money you are making that is taking all your time. Common sense just tells you that you need to devote more energy in that direction. Does that make any sense? But if you are not taking stock, if you don't keep record, there's no way you will know that. Does that make sense? And then all the things that you thought were assets, but that are liability, could be your relationship. You may be eating out too much. There was a time in my life where I used to eat plantain chips. You know those dry plantain chips? Oh my goodness. The owners of those business made a fortune out of me. And I ate it so much, but it was one of those days when I was taking record. I said, what? That was the end of their business. If I was the only customer, that was the end of their business because I realized where money was leaving my account from. Okay. Do you know how much you spend every month? You have an idea what you are spending every month. Okay. Because this is also going to help you. You see, I always teach on record keeping. I'm not an accountant. Interestingly, I have one of my mentors in the room who is a Oga of them all, in this field. I'm not a chartered accountant, but I know that your accounts, your records give you a snippet of your financial history. And with benefit of that hindsight, you can project for the future. So your budget is a money-making plan and a money spending plan, right? But if you don't have record of what is bringing money and what is taking money from you, how can you develop a sound and effective budget? And this is one of the reasons when you don't even know how much you are spending every month, how do you develop a budget that you stick with? Very, very important. Yes, no, I don't know. Please make sure you are answering the question honestly. You don't need to submit you are not submitting it, but you get your answer later on. Do you spend less than you earn? Do you spend less than you earn? Yes, no, I don't know. Do you spend less than you? I don't know. Answer the question. Let me say something on this. Sometimes I'm tempted to want to just keep it. See, so maybe I can't divulge all the details, but let me just give you this perspective. So sometimes, as a family man, I cover a lot of bills, both immediate family, extended family. And I have a budget that I'm working with. So usually towards the end of the month, that's when we get these things done, right? But what I also realize is that there's other things, for those of married men in the building, you understand what I'm talking about. So when you are driving back home, maybe from work for an appointment, they will tell you, Branch, help us get ice cream, help us get bread. All those, who understand what I'm talking about here? All those type of things that was not part of it does not mean that you are not still taking care of these other bills. So, but all these other ones, they look insignificant, but they contribute, they make up for the large chunk of your expenses. All those eating out, all those just go to McDonald's now. Is it not close to us? Just Brian Kroger now. Is it just help us get 1 gallon of milk? All those things. So it has a way of draining you, and ultimately you end up spending even at par or even run into debits. Um, you know. So do you spend less than you earn? Answer the question, yes, no, I don't know. Do you have a household budget and are you successfully managing? Just till yesterday night, I sent a message to my wife. I said, see, listen, I'm not coming here to come and tell you because I'm bigger and better than you. I'm telling you because I'm sharing this with you because I want us to go on the same journey. Somebody following me at all? God has been faithful to me. I cannot lie about that one. I cannot package that one. But the fact that you are big now or you are making money now, it's not a guarantee that you continue to make that much in the future. Somebody following me at all? Earning big is not guaranteed from not for it's not an immunity against being broke. Is somebody following me at all? So if you don't have a budget, so I sent to my wife, I said that over the next 10 years, I want us to double down on our aggressiveness toward investing. And I'll share something with us here. I was at the conference, and I think I touched on that here previously. I was at a conference in Houston last month. Yeah, last month. And in that program, an Indian, spoke at that event. And while he was sharing with us, he talked about something very powerful. And I think I've shared this, on different platforms as well. And the man said that when himself and his wife got married, they decided that they were going to live off one person's salary and then they were going to save and invest the other person. Now, that unity of faith, that unity of commitment is very critical. Not every family have it. But if you don't have it, then what is the value of saying two are better than one? Why are we saying two are better than one when they actually one, when it's just one? Hello? Does anybody understand what I'm talking about? So I sent a message to my wife, and I'm being honest, just being vulnerable here. I hope it's fine, right? I know some people are too packaged not to say things like that. I said, are you in or out? It's like another level of sacrifice. Because if you will not be broke tomorrow, it's today you will know. If I can see the way money is coming to you and leaving you, I can tell how glorious or how doomed your financial destiny is like. Is somebody following me at all? We will talk about making the money, but we need to sort out, straighten up the budget thing as well. So please answer the question, yes, no, I don't know. Do you avoid major credit purchases? Do you avoid major credit purchases? I personally believe in outright cash. Pay outright. There are a lot of other leverages. You can do seller financing, you can do supply financing, right? So you don't have to use your money all of the time. So look out for leverage, right? Um, look out for, I told my team in our business, I said, see, all of you are always coming to tell me, or sorry, not all of you, most of them would come and say, we need to pay for this, we need to pay for that. I said, come, you two think about it. If you were the CEO of this business, you are running this business, shouldn't you be asking, who can supply this and collect later? Because everybody is paying later, paying small. Is that not the way it is for us? We are providing that to other people. Can't we get it too? Everybody saying we need to pay it now. As what? Does that make any sense? So, do you avoid major credit purchases? There are things that you should not just be buying And by the way, for those of you who live in diaspora, I know you have opportunity to buy a car and pay over 7 years and all of those things. You know you already have multiple streams of expenses, and several of them are already on autopilot. Why add to it? Buy a car of 10,000 instead of buying a one of 70,000 that you'll be paying for the next 7 years. Who am I trying to impress? Who are you trying to impress too? All right. Yes, no, I don't know. These are things I recommend. And if you live in the UK where transportation system is good and you don't have anywhere you are going, anyways, just stick with your Oyster card and relax. Does that make any sense? Right? Because when you acquire a car, you have acquired every other thing that comes with the car, including maintenance, insurance, and all of those things. And all of these things are automatically increasing your cost. Does anybody understand what I'm talking about? So, and when you think of the things that follow, what we call follow come, all the things that will follow those things, that should help you to make necessary adjustments. There are things you need to cut off completely. I'm being honest here. You need to completely cut off. Do you take advantages of all savings and investment opportunities? Yes, no, I don't know. A lot of people are not able to save, are not able to invest because the race that their money have to keep up with would hinder them from being able to take advantage of such opportunities. Right? So you have set up, and so let me say something here. Many of us even have subscriptions that you are not using, but they still debit you. If you live in the US or you work in the US, you'll find it very, very helpful. It's called Rocket Money. It's an app that you can link all your accounts to, and then it will help you to see exactly the direction, the trajectory of your money. I don't know. I know some of the banks, some of the fintechs in Nigeria now have it. I learned that Kuda has such a platform where they will give you a report of how what is taking your money and what's bringing your money. You need all those things. If you are in America, you may want to consider that. I'm not sure if it's available. That same facility app is available for those of you who are in other parts of the world, but you may want to check it out. And so you have all these subscriptions on autopilot, but you don't have anything on autopilot for savings. Are you seeing what I'm talking about? We don't have anything on autopilot on savings. So even if we increase your income, which we will, I assure you on that one, we will, but you still not see any improvement because the law of the Parkinson's law is at work. That law simply states that expenses rise to always meet up with income. So as the income increases, expenses always rise to meet up with it. So there's never going to be any balance. So you are earning $500,000 a year. The day it becomes $1 million, there's still no improvement because you have elevated your lifestyle and your expenses has also risen. So, but if you can make necessary adjustments on the income that you make right now and cut off some wastes, you already free up money for investments and savings. All right. Yes, no, I don't know. Please take note of that. Do you have any investment that helps you reduce your taxable income? And I can go on and on. I mean, we have an expert in the building. It's not my jurisdiction to be teaching him, right? But I know fully well that there are things I know that I do that it's when you attend the Financial Freedom Challenge that you hear them. All right. Yes, no, I don't know. Do you diversify your investments? Yes, no, I don't know. Diversification is a powerful strategy that can multiply your streams of income, but not many people even understand that one too. So, and we treat that extensively during the Achieve Financial Freedom Challenge. Yes, no, I don't know. Then we have, are you satisfied with the contribution from your investment to your total income? Right? This is also a very important thing. Yes, no, I don't know. Just type your answer. Do you think you have a brilliant financial advisor or team of advisors? You heard me when I was saying my mentor is in the room. When I run into anything that I need clarification on, I know who to call. All right. So do you have people like that in your life? Do you have a coach, a financial coach or mentor? Right. Some people don't. I don't want to talk too much on this. Yes, no, I don't know. Do you think you have sufficient life insurance coverage? I can speak for the next 2 hours on this. Listen, if you are right now in financial crisis, financial instability, or financial stability, and you don't have sufficient life insurance coverage, you are running a great risk. You are heavily exposed. Now, as long as you continue to work, you'll still be able to provide something for your family. Or should anything tamper with you as a breadwinner to your family, that can tamper with your children's education, that can tamper with their lifestyle, that can tamper with everything. If you have not yet built up sufficient assets that can produce income and sustain the family in your absence, then you need life insurance. So life insurance is stopgap, particularly term life insurance, which is really what I recommend. Term life, it is the most inexpensive policy, regardless of where you are in the world, whether you're in the United States or in Nigeria, in Canada, in UK, or Australia, depending on wherever you are, or in Uganda or Kenya, regardless of where you are, or Accra, Ghana. This is extremely important. Ask for term life policy. It is the most inexpensive, and it is also the one that affords you securing adequate coverage. I will not be able to go into those details, but if you don't have $1 million worth of assets, should you not at least have $1 million through insurance in the event anything happens? Do you get my point? And what you need to secure that may not be more than $200, depending on your age and your health condition at the time of your subscription, right? It could be less, it could be way less. If you're in Nigeria, it will certainly be way less. But they don't also sell this because it is not what brings them the most revenue. So let's leave that debate for Financial Freedom Challenge. I will explain that in greater depth during the Financial Freedom Challenge. Do you have a plan for your children's college and university education? Yes, no, I don't know. So person will never even find in footing now go the plan for education of the children. So do you have a plan? We didn't say is the plan mature. We are saying, do you have a plan? Is there a plan on how, one of my clients said to me, this was years ago during my investment banking days. He said to me, he got married early, but he gave birth to children very late. But by the time children started coming in, he was already well-to-do. So his design was that he was going to build a house, he was going to buy houses. So he had 2 children at the time. He said his plan was that he would buy a house. He wanted his children to study abroad. So he said he has 2 houses in the US as far back as 2007, 2008 was when he had bought those houses. He said the rental income is how he intends to fund their education. Are you seeing the plan now? So do you have such a plan? For some people, it may be an annuity program, can be a savings, an investment plan, can be that, okay, they have been doing this since the child was born, or they have a savings plan to say, okay, this money is going towards the education of that child. Does that make any sense? Do you own a house? Do you own a house? Yes, no, I don't know. Whether in Nigeria or elsewhere. Do you own a house? Do you have a plan to retire in comfort? Yes, no, I don't know. I know that this thing is already wearying you. It's like, is my life still intact like this? It depends on where you are right now, right? But we just have to be honest with ourselves. Have you prepared your will or set up your trust? Right? Today now we talk more about trust, not even just will. Will go through probate, and depending on the nation you're operating in, it can come with a lot of contentions. And we treat all of this also during the Financial Freedom Challenge. Are you in control of your financial future? Based on all these that we have even examined now, are you in control of your financial future? Yes, no, I don't know. The Indian man I told you about that spoke at the event, he made a profound statement. He said, when the global recession happened in 2007, 2008, 2009. He said because they had saved a lot of money, he said they had a lot of cash reserve. They were living on one person's income, and the other person's income was what they had been saving and investing. He said they took advantage of a lot of properties. As of the time we were speaking, their portfolio was over $100 million. Both of them were working in one of the oil and gas services firm in Texas. And you can understand why they had so much. So they were able to buy a lot of houses very cheap. They were also able to access financing, and all of those things. And they went into some depth that time won't permit me to go. This is what gives you control over your financial future. If you know how to make money and you know how to save money and invest money and apply them, this is what puts you in control of your financial future. Does that make any sense here? Are you satisfied with the contribution you have made to the world? This is why financial freedom is really the most important level I always want everybody to get to. All right. So this is the score guide. Listen to the score guide now. If you've been taking stock of everything I said so far, if no or I don't know is as follows. If it's no, I don't know is 0 to 4, then you are in good shape. Right? So please take your score. Take the score. Let's go and add it up. Add up your no and I don't know. Add it all up. Add it all up. No and I don't know. How many? Because of our time, I need to see if I can quickly wrap up now. So we can take questions and deal with other things. If your no or I don't know is 0 to 4, then you are in good shape, and then keep it up. Okay. If your no or I don't know is 5 to 10, then you are on the right track, but you still need improvement. If your no or I don't know is 11 to 12, then you have a weak pulse and you need revival. And then if your no or I don't know is 13 and above, you are in intensive care unit. That's the only way I can describe it. Right? And there's nothing to be ashamed of. It is opportunity to reclaim your life. So if you marry what we said in the beginning, are you in financial crisis, financial instability, or financial stability? And you marry that with these results, where exactly are you? And what's your next game plan? What's your next step? And that's why I'm giving you the opportunity to attend the Financial Freedom Challenge, Achieve Financial Freedom Challenge, AFFC. It's a 5-day intensive program that runs from the 9th. The next edition is starting on the 9th to 13th of June 2025. It's going to be running from 11 a.m. EST to, it's going to be 2 hours, powerful sessions. We cover income distribution. We cover personal transformation. We cover personal transformation the first day. And then the second day, we look at personal preparation. The third day, we look at income generation. And the fourth day, we look at asset accumulation, right? And then the fifth day, we look at asset optimization and retention. It does not matter where you are or where you live anywhere in the world, you will derive significant value. Those of you who participated in the edition we had in May, you know the story. You have your experiences, right? There's no point trying to blow our trumpet. But somebody had told me, one of my mentees said, you don't blow your trumpet. I said, you blow it now, it will now explode. You better leave it the way it is. Let people underestimate you, and when they encounter you, they are shocked. They are shocked. And you mean you have all this and you talk this way, you operate this way? Yes, it's better that way, right? Because actually, empty barrels that make the most noise. Sometimes people want to weigh you, evaluate what you are truly worth, but you don't need all that. But I personally believe that if you attend this program and you don't derive any value, we'll refund your money. That's the money back guarantee that comes with it. And I'm giving you an offer today just for the next 48 hours. So this program is a $299 program for 50,000 naira for those of you who are in Nigeria. But if you subscribe, if you register within the next 48 hours. You just pay $99, all right? Or 150,000 naira for the same package. What does this come with? You will have opportunity to go through the program, you ask questions, and then you also listen to the answers to the questions I will provide. Or that the group coaching call is one of the most powerful sessions that I enjoy the most during our sessions. And if you attend this program and you finish the program, you feel that this is a waste of money, this is a waste of my time, no problem. Within 7 days of ending that program, I send you an email that it was a complete waste of your time and we'll refund your money. No questions asked. Right. So that's pretty much, and these are the account details if you need to register within the next 48 hours. If you're in Nigeria, you can pay to the Access Bank. If you are in the US, you can Zelle to these details. So you can screen grab it and take advantage of it. Listen, after 48 hours, the opportunity is closed. So if you are interested, take advantage of it. Thank you very much. Over to you, Stella. Let's take questions.
Wow. Please let's celebrate OC for that giveaway. Do you know what that is? That's a lot. 300K in Nigerian naira. Please, I encourage you, everyone, ensure you get your family, your friends on board. This is a good time for you to pay for maybe people in your company, your accounts department. Take advantage of this. And the good thing is even coming at the end of the month. Some of you have been planning for 299 and now it's coming at $99. So please take advantage of it. Also already mentioned if you have your spouse can be a partaker, but of course, if it's someone else, completely different person, you have to pay for that person. So you can gift somebody this. You know, somebody whose birthday is coming up in June. Don't just give the person shoe, clothes, bag. You can do better. How much are quality shoes, clothes, and bags? You should gift them this session and they will be forever grateful. Every time they think about their growth, the person who comes to mind, it's you. And you know that when you have billionaire friends, you get billionaire gifts. Don't you like good gifts? So please take advantage of this opportunity. If we have questions, I'll be happy to read out our questions. Please put them in the chat box. And while we're waiting for the questions to come in, we have discussed our different positions. It's either you're in a financial crisis, or you're experiencing instability, or you're a bit stable, or you've attained a level of independence. But the ultimate level where everyone wants to be is financial freedom. And in order for us to even determine well where we fall, which of the category or the stages that we fall, there's a need for us to take these 26 critical financial health questions that OC just ran through. In case you miss any one of them, the link will also be shared. So please make sure you take these questions. OC, Caleb is asking, does the package come with recording after the class? Mr. Caleb,
Yes.
Oliver Twist.
Yes. So it
You
comes with
see?
the replay. So you get a replay for just 7 days after the program, right? So that's advantage that you get for this. Yeah.
Thank you for that, OC. So you can see that it's a complete package, it's a total package. So please take advantage of this opportunity. Please keep your questions coming. So like we said, during this webinar so far, we have explored the financial assessment or the diagnostic tool that helps you determine where you stand on your journey to financial freedom. And if you look critically, you can see that these 26 questions have actually been dimensioned into 4 segments. If you look at question 1 to 8, for those of you who maybe took a screenshot or you listened attentively or you've taken the financial test before, it has to do with your foundation. We're talking about understanding your net worth, the importance of emergency savings, how you need to develop consistent savings habits, having clearly defined financial goals, and basic banking and record keeping. Afterwards, for questions 9 to 14, it had to do with money management. Do you track your income and expenditure? Do you live below your means? Effective budgeting and avoiding unnecessary credit purchase, right? Please note the balance, avoiding unnecessary credit purchases. Then next for questions 15 to 18, it addresses your investment and your growth. How well are you maximizing the savings and investment opportunities that comes your way? Do you know about tax efficient investing strategies? Is your portfolio properly diversified and are you optimizing your savings for proper investment returns? And then 19 to 26 talks about long-term planning, the need for financial advice, the need for you to have certain relationships, and the need for insurance coverage. Also, are you planning for your children's education? What home ownership scheme are you looking at? Are you even thinking of your retirement already? Do you have an estate plan in place already? You need to take control of your financial future. Okay, so I see that we have more questions. Mr. Yinka Adidokun says, Sir, I noticed you have been on your feet. Can I ask that you take your seat?
All right. So,
Oh God,
so
Mr.
my
Ika.
team shared this with me. They said that there's a type of energy that I exude when I'm standing that is completely different from what I exude when I'm seated. So I made it a point of duty that the next one, of course, if I were to be speaking in a live event, I'll certainly be standing, not be sitting. I'm not an old man yet. I'm still a young man, right? I'm still under 50. So this
The
is the
passion is different too.
you said?
The passion is different, is visible.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. Adeleke Ibrahim
Thank you for
says,
your
I like
concern,
the
by the way.
calmness.
Thank you for your concern, but I'm good. Thank you.
Adeleke Ibrahim says, very true. The energy is different, but I love the calmness when you are sitting. Has to be mix and match. Life can't just be a straight line. It has to be ups and downs. So we'll keep doing A/B testing and see which one you vibe with very well, and we'll continue with it. So thank you for that feedback. Caleb says, I love the standing. You see, we're A/B testing. Should we take a poll? Do you want to vote? How many for standing? How many for sitting? And can I have the yay or the nays? Right. You see, Light is also confirming what I said. It says OC is really looking handsome today. Grace, you know that. You know this. You see, people are already voting for standing. Standing is winning. No, where are the sitting people?
Hmm.
See, standing is winning. Wait, Emiola says OC needs to include his baba in his will. Damn, you love OC's haircut. Interesting. I like Light's comments. He said na collabo. Of course, na collabo. Some days sitting, some days standing. Would all balance it. But please, let's make sure that we take this assessment that we just spoke about. You need to take this test to generate your report. I know that we've written yes, no in our papers, but much more when you use the link that has been pasted now, it would give you a customized report. I took mine, I think yesterday or day before yesterday. That's why I just fully paid attention to the class and I didn't take any of the tests today. So please make sure that you take it. And like OC says, it's not once and for all. It's something that you have to keep taking because your financial future is in your hand and you need to take control. And you cannot take control of what you have not even, evaluated or measured, right? So please make sure that you take advantage of the Financial Freedom Challenge, a 5-day guided experience. Now that you know the ailments, it would be nice for you to at least know the medications to take, right? So this is a great place for you to be because in this challenge, we're not just giving you theory. There's a lot of practical, like Osi is always sharing his screen. He's always drawing something. He's always giving one illustration. And it's always beautiful. For everyone who joined the last one, you would agree with me that it was value packed. We're going to walk you through setting up a personalized financial plan for yourself. Like it is for you. It has your name on it. We also help you develop or build upon the savings and investment habits that you have. We give you more compelling reasons why you need to double down, just the way OC mentioned, and also financial pitfalls to avoid so that you don't go back to where you are coming from. Because, you know, wealth is a cycle, it's always cyclical. There will be, just like in the Bible, years of plenty and years of famine. And there's a strategy for every time. The way it came up in 2007 might not be the way it's going to come up now. So you need financial advisors to ensure that you are on track, you are on point, you are following the trends, the times, the seasons. And I'm sure that for those who joined, you know the numerous opportunities that came your way on how you can maximize your money. Some of us have a large chunk of money sitting in our bank balances and we do not know where to put it. So it's a good place for you to follow Who Know Road. In this class, I can assure you that you would have started laying the foundation for generational wealth, not just for you, but for everyone connected to you. So I don't know how many people on this call are ready to take control. Are you ready to take control? Don't just say yes. I want to see workings. If I want to use the Gen Z language, no cho cho cho. I want to see workings. I want the Access Bank account to be receiving some heavy alarms and the Zelle account as well, receiving something. This is one of the best things that you can do for yourself. The year, whether we know it or not, is almost coming to an end. This is the end of May. We're going into June, like 6 months gone already. And you're like, "Ah, when did we say Happy New Year?" Before you say, when will we say Merry Christmas? Join this class. Please join this class so that your financial goal that you've written on paper will not just be a relic and another thing in the museum of your life. Something that you would work towards achieving. Please, let's move from theory. You have known enough, right? Come and hear practical things, real life things that will be relevant for you because your financial freedom deserves more than wishful thinking. I wish, and I intend to, I think I can. No, it requires strategic guidance and your action. So this is a team of accountability partners that will make sure that that thing that you said you want to achieve, you would achieve because OC is going to hold you by the hand, right? So please, begging you, because I know that it's going to be good for you. And there's a lot more that you can do for the world when you are financially healthy. So please join the next class. I don't know if we have more questions or any other clarification. How many of us have clicked on the link already? I think a good thing for you to do now is to click on the link so that the tab is already open before we end the class today and they are unable to access it. But if not, you can also reach out to any of our media team behind. They'll be happy, to assist you. Please help me celebrate the media team as well. People working behind the scene, ensuring that the lights, camera, action is going on well. They also deserve to be celebrated. Thank you so much, everyone. Who has set up this Zoom call and sending in the reminders and communication. Because if there isn't somebody following up, some people will miss this class. So it's so good to have you all join us this evening. OC, I don't know if you have any other further recommendations for the team and everyone on the call.
All right, so thank you so much, Stella, and thank you, everyone. Thank you so much, Pastor Sam. I deeply appreciate your presence here. I honestly feel really, really humbled. I wasn't expecting anybody like yourself to be in this room. Thank you so much, sir. I deeply appreciate you and honor you and value you so much. Day one,
Sorry
let
to
me.
interrupt you, OC. Pastor Daniel Amadi is also on the call as well.
Oh, can you imagine? All the heavyweights are
Thank
here.
you, Pastor Sam.
Good to have you here, sir. Good to have you here, Pastor Dan. Thank you so much. I'm so truly humble, honestly. I think the last financial freedom challenge we had Pastor Charles in the room. I said,
Yes.
what is Pastor Charles looking? What will I see? What person it is? So really, really feel humbled, right? I just want to quickly run through this just so that people can have a sense of what we'll be dealing with during the financial freedom challenge. I know I've touched on them in a very sketchy manner, but let me just run through it again. The one we will focus on personal transformation. Um,
Mm,
you see, in life, um, you are where you are because of who you are. And to
yes.
achieve what you have never achieved before, you have to become who you have never been.
Mm,
So this is the foundation and the back end of wealth. This is what most people don't settle and establish. And that's why there's always that anxiety when they don't have resources. Unfortunately, also, it's also the part that people often ignore the most. Okay. I always like to say this way that 80% of life success or failure is determined here. 20% is just the mechanics. I want to know how to do, what do I do? Where do I do? What do I do? How can I achieve this? Let us settle the 80% of the equation. And that's what we deal with on day one. Day two, we focus on personal preparation. It is the way you lay your bed that you lie on it. So if you won't be broke, I said that earlier, if you won't be broke tomorrow, it is today, you would know. And if you don't set agenda for the money you make, others will set agenda for it. And I'm sure some of us can relate with that. This is where we talk about your wealth design. This is where we talk about your wealth game plan and, of course, your roadmap. On day 3, we focus primarily on income generation. This is the part I love the most, even though I enjoy other parts too, but this is the one I pour my soul into it. I want to make sure that you can 10x, 20x, 30x your income. And that's what we typically touch on here. We focus on income generation. You cannot manage and multiply income you have not yet made. And most people have multiple streams of expense. I mentioned that already. And only a few people have multiple streams of income. So many have their income or their expenses on autopilot, but very few have their income on autopilot. Okay. So if the rate at which money flows to you is, the rate at which money leaves you is faster and more than the rate at which money comes to you, then there's no way you can be financially free. So income generation is the pillar of wealth that holds everything else together. So no matter whatever it is that we share with you, this is the part that holds everything together. And like I say all the time, nothing can be more empowering and liberating when you know exactly what to do to produce income whenever you need it, regardless of your location, right? And therefore, we focus on asset accumulation. I said it time and again, and I will repeat it here again. If you don't find a way to make money while asleep, you will work till you die. Until the income from your assets and investment can replace your income from exchanging your time and effort for money, then you won't be free. So we determine how much money you will require to be financially free here, and then we'll estimate exactly what will get you there. So this is where I break it down. I run the numbers, and you'll see it exactly. And finally, the 5, we focus on asset optimization and retention. We show you exactly how to make your asset generate more money than it may currently be generating. That's if you even have assets, right? And then the exact structure to retain and then protect whatever it is that you have already accumulated. So it's really going to be an exciting time. I'm too sure that by the time you are done with this program, you'd be armed with the exact blueprints to achieve financial freedom. So take advantage of it. I won't say more than that. I'm sure you'll be glad you did. And then it comes with money back. If you are thinking, no, what are you doing there? They call some me. That's why it's 5 days and it's a challenge. We'll give you homework, I give you recommendations, and I give you my template. One thing that you're going to get from this program also is the fact that I'm going to give you my own exact template that I'm using for financial freedom. God is faithful to me. I can't lie about it. And I know the color of poverty. I've suffered every degree of poverty. Poor people did not only call me poor, poorer people than poor people called me poor. So, there are people who were born with silver spoon. I wasn't born with any spoon at all. So if you don't have any taste of poverty, you certainly will derive value from me. If anybody like myself, I've had a chance, to achieve some of the level of results that we have achieved, and there's a lot more ahead of us. I can tell you categorically you still have a chance as well. So thank you very much, everybody. I want to sincerely appreciate you for making time out to be here. I believe there are no more questions, and we can call it a wrap. And
Deleke very was asking, how can I multiply my money? But then I think the best way is join the Financial
the
Freedom
financial,
Challenge, the income
that's very
generation.
that income generation something, it's always scattered.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, there are things that we know and we do that produce the results. So we'll share it in that program. So thank you so much, everybody. I think we should call it a wrap, Stella. If you need further
Yes,
assistance,
please.
please reach out to any of the community admins or 0708-797-0441 for any support whatsoever. I remain your host, and so we connect again next week, Wednesday, right? Yeah,
Yes.
we'll connect again next week, Wednesday. God bless you. Have a good night. Bye-bye, everybody.
Take that step today. Be intentional to changing levels financially. See you next week, Wednesday. Good to see your face, Mr. Williams. Thank you, Mr. Yinka. Thank you, Mr. Odafe. Thank you, Atolani. Thank you, the digital team. Thank you, Mr. Joseph, Caleb, Chiwendu, Chinyere Light, Emmanuel, Esther, Grandma, Femi, Godswill, Henry, James, 1 and 2, Jonathan, Mr. Joseph, Olukayode, Kayode Fakorede, Jubril, Louis, thank you for joining, Mamode and Kim, Nonyelum, Obikwere Henry, Ola Apata, Towoju, Olariwaju, Olaiwola, Mr. Jeffrey once again, Promise Richard, Itibe David, Victor, Wisdom, and myself, Stella Witcher. Thank you all for joining. Look forward to seeing you next week. Yes, the video will be on already streamed on YouTube, so you can catch the replay there. You can send it to your prospects as well. I think we didn't mention that affiliate program, but you get somebody to join, and that can be discussed further next week. But if you get somebody to join, there's something for you. Thank you so much and enjoy the rest of your evening. Okay, Elsie is here. You're muted, sir. Let me try to unmute you, sir. Oh, okay, Elsie, you can unmute yourself now.
All right, so apologies, I completely forgot. This was one of the major things that we wanted to give out. If you get two
Yeah.
people to register for the program as well, you can attend for free. You get,
Yay! Drum
if you get two
rolls.
people to register, you also can attend for free, right? So I completely forgot. Thank God that I had not even left and we are not close.
Thank God.
So if you see this video later on, you may want to take advantage of that. God bless you. Bye-bye for now.
Thank you, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye for now.